Hearing's hidden powers, from food flavors to sight tricks. Let's talk about some facts about your ears and hearing. Stay tuned. Your ears are more complicated than you think. Our ear actually consists of three main parts: the outer, middle, and inner ear. The outer ear, like a funnel, catches sound waves and sends them through a tube to the middle ear. Here, tiny bones vibrate, amplifying these sounds. The inner ear then turns these vibrations into signals that the brain understands as sounds. It's also where we get our sense of balance, helping us stay coordinated. Are you tone deaf? Have you ever heard someone say they're tone deaf when they can't sing well? In fact, that's not exactly what tone deafness is. True tone deafness, or amusia, is a rare condition affecting about 4% of people. Rather than meaning they can't sing well, it actually means they can't tell the difference between musical pitches. People with tone deafness struggle to tell if a note is higher or lower than another. For them, music might not sound pleasant at all. Scientists have found that in people with amusia, there are weaker connections in the brain areas that understand sounds. This could be why they hear music differently.
Hello everyone, welcome to English for You. I'm Mike.
And I am Laura.
Today we are going to read an article. I guess you could listen to the article.
Right,
you could just close your eyes and let your ears do the work. We have a podcast. There you go. So we're going to be talking about hearing's hidden powers, from food flavors to sight tricks. I thought we were talking about like how your ears work, and cats have really good ears, and bats can do all sorts of things. They can see in the dark with their ears. Food in your ears? What are you doing? Sticking carrots in your... Oh yeah, if you put a banana in your ear, you can't hear very well.
Yeah, but you can't taste it.
That's the old joke. I'm sorry, you have a banana in your ear. What? I can't hear you. I have a banana in my ear.
That's kind
of gross. It's not a good joke, but what is food and ears? This is very strange. So I think we should just skip over all the intro and get to the article and find out how I can listen to my hamburger. That doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Let's talk about some facts about your ears and hearing. I'm reading the article now. Right. Let's talk about some facts about your ears and hearing. Stay tuned. That means listen up. Don't go far away, because ears, hearing, facts, and food, I don't know. It's going to come together somehow. So stay tuned.
Okay. So stay tuned. 通常我们是用来表示敬请期待，要保持关注，因为接下来可能会讲一些比较非常新鲜的一些冷知识。Okay, so how do you use stay tuned? For example, stay tuned for more exciting updates on the upcoming event. So this is something you want people to look forward to. Is there a banana really in your ear?
No, of course there isn't a banana in my ear, but if there was, I wouldn't be able to hear you. Here's the first fact about your ears. This probably isn't a huge shock. Your ears are more complicated than you think.
I know this one.
I mean, it's a funny, weird shaped thing. It kind of these flappy things on the outside of your head. And then it turns into music and speech and all sorts of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm getting the idea. That's complicated. I'm also thinking your eyes are your thumbs are not complicated,
no.
But yeah, your eyes, your ears, it's pretty complicated. If something is complicated, it's complex, it's difficult to explain, it's difficult to understand. It probably has many, many parts to it that work together in all sorts of strange and unusual ways. If I'm talking about math and I say 2 plus 2, you can probably figure that out, right? But if I'm like 2x triangle y with a little 3 next to it over zxp with some other weird letter with a tail, I don't know what that is. But for example, this university math book is full of complicated questions, and 2 plus 2 will not be in there. 2 minus 2 will not be in there.
We're thinking the same thing. I'm always thinking about math.
As complicated?
complicated
Me too.
就是复杂的
Yeah.
这是一个形容词。But, here's one. The math problem seemed complicated at first, but with some help, I understood it better.
Oh, okay. With some help, I still thought it was complicated.
Okay,
Yeah, sorry.
So our ears are complicated,
Back
right?
to our ears. Let's explain though. I think I could probably understand ears more easily than math. Our ear actually consists of three main parts. 1, 2, 3 main parts. The outer, that's this part.
Right.
The middle, that's the part that you might find little bits of dirt in, but don't go too far because you definitely don't want to put something into your middle or especially your inner ear, right? Because that's where the real business happens. And actually, that's where I think the smallest bones in your body, there are 3 of them, I believe. I didn't go to medical school, but I think there are 3. They're in your inner ear, and they're like tiny, tiny bones. Anyways, your outer ear, that's the one you see the most, or that's the one you see because it's on the outside. Right. That's what outer means. You can think of your skin as the outer part of your body, right? It's the part on the outside. Here's another example. Most people would never want to eat the outer part of a banana, especially the one that was in my ear. Yeah, the peel, the skin of the fruit.
No.
It might have vitamins in it, like with an apple, but like with an orange or a banana, you don't usually eat the outer. The inside would be the inner part of a banana, delicious and sweet. The outer part, bitter and nasty. Don't eat it unless you're a monkey.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I think they eat them.
I think so, yeah.
Elephants do.
Okay, consist of something 这个片语就是由什么组成的。那刚刚有提到 outer 这个形容词就是外面的、外部的。For example, the outer layer of the cake was beautifully decorated.
Yeah.
所以课文提到是，实际上我们的耳朵是由3个主要的部分组成，有外耳、中耳还有内耳。Interesting.
That's true. The outer part of the cake is beautiful and tasty. The inner part is boring.
Yeah. Okay.
Weird. Anyways, the outer ear, like a funnel, this part,
Yeah.
catches sound waves and sends them through a tube to the middle ear. So the tube is the part that you might see, and that's about all you can see because all of the magic happens in the middle or the inner ear.
Okay, so funnel 就是漏斗嘛，它是一个名词，所以外耳像漏斗一样捕捉声波，然后将其通过一条像是就是管子传送到中耳。Interesting.
Yeah, we can use funnel as a verb, to funnel, to kind of squeeze things into a narrow place. Or that kind of, it's like a triangle with a little thing and you pour water in to get it into a little bottle. That would be a funnel. You might have a funnel in your kitchen. You probably do. Here, on the middle and inner ear, here tiny bones, those ones I was talking about, here tiny bones vibrate, amplifying these sounds. They shake together, shake, and they turn the sound out here into shaking motion, and that goes into a nerve, which goes into your brain, it's complicated.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Vibrate.
Yeah.
这个动词就是震动，它的名词就是 vibration， 也有震动的意思。Amplify 就是放大或是扩大声音，所以在这里微小的骨头震动，放大这些声音哦。
And then the inner ear turns these vibrations into signals that the brain understands as sounds. It's incredible. I mean, it is incredible when you think about it, right? How does that happen? I don't know, but it does, usually. All right, so we're going to talk about this word signal. What is a signal? A signal, this is a noun. We could use it as a verb, but here it's a noun. A signal is a series of electrical waves or pulses or little bits of information that carry sounds, pictures, or messages. For example, to a radio, television, or mobile phone. You know those little bars on your phone, and when you're inside or underground in, a B1 or something, you got no bars, you get no signal, right? Because you can't get those waves. If you're driving a car and you're listening to a radio and you go through a tunnel, you're underground, all of a sudden the signal won't get in, so the radio won't work for a few minutes or whatever. So that is the same thing, but our body using, I think, electricity and our nerves can send signals around our body as well. That's why we can touch hot and cold, we can see light and know what we're seeing, we can hear sound and know what we're hearing. For example, I think I'll go outside to make a call. My cell phone can't get a signal in here. Yeah, that's annoying.
Signal 这个名词就是像是传播声音啦，或者是图像，或是其他资讯的讯号这样的意思。For example, the radio host sent a signal to start the live broadcast of the music show.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty cool. My mom would send me a signal when I was in trouble. She'd look at me like this.
Ooh.
That'd be a signal that I'm in deep
in
trouble. So there's lots of different types of signals.
Right.
But here we're kind of talking about pulses, electricity, stuff like that. It's also the inner ear. It's also where we get our sense of balance, helping us stay coordinated. There's little liquid in there. And if you spin around and stop, the liquid might still be moving. And that's why you feel like the world's moving. And that's also where we get our balance, how we can stand on one foot.
好酷哦！这是我们获得平衡感的地方，帮助我们怎么样 stay coordinated。coordinated 这个形容词就是动作协调的，有协调性的。What happened to you here?
Okay, next we're going to talk about being tone deaf. Here's a question. Are you tone deaf? That's the question. And what we're talking about is it hard for you to hear tones? This doesn't mean you're deaf. That doesn't mean you can't hear things. No, it means you're tone deaf. What is a tone? The tone is basically the space between two notes on a music scale. So da 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 da, do re mi fa sol la ti do, that kind of thing. Those would be tones. And if you're tone deaf, this is the idea. If I sing happy birthday to you and you sing happy birthday to you, hey, I'm singing the same thing. No, you're not. You're clearly tone deaf.
I don't think they know. They realize they're tone deaf, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's because you can't hear the tones. You can hear the sound, but you can hear what the note should be and the difference between what I'm singing, what you're singing, what the music is, and what you're hearing. So that would be tone deaf. But a tone is basically just the space between those notes, the space in a frequency between those notes. Here's a simple example. In music, a B and a B flat are separated by half a tone called a semitone. And yes, a B to a C or an A to a B, that would be a full tone.
Right.
Talk to your music teacher.
Okay, tone 这个字呢，在本课是有声调的意思，它是一个名词。那刚刚我们有提到 tone deaf 就是音痴啦。So for example, even though she loves music, she is a bit tone deaf and struggles to match the pitch when singing along to her favorite songs. Do, dear, her female dear.
That's really great. You're a great singer. Have you ever heard someone say they're tone deaf when they can't sing well? Oh, don't take me to KTV. I'm tone deaf. Really? You guys have fun, but I'll just sit here and no, not me, but some people, you know, they just they know that they don't sing well and they can't find the right notes. In fact, that's not exactly what tone deafness is. So we might use that term, but it's actually different from real tone deafness. Yeah, true tone deafness or amusia is a rare condition affecting about 4% of people. And more than 4% of people are just bad singers. So they're not tone deaf, they're just bad singers.
Okay. Amusia. Okay, I like that fancy term. 就是失乐症，音乐的乐 OK， 这又称为诗歌症或者是旋律辨识障碍症 OK， 那名词 condition 在这里呢，指的就是疾病 only 4%.
Only 4%, pretty rare. 4 out of 100 people, and more than 4 out of 100 people are just bad singers. Rather than meaning they can't sing well, for real tone deafness or real amusia, rather than meaning they can't sing well, it actually means they can't tell the difference between musical pitches. So doing the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, they couldn't do that because they wouldn't hear or know. I guess it's kind of like color blindness. Right? You just don't know that that's green and red and you get them mixed up, but in your brain, no, this is what I see.
Okay. But here, let's take a pause because we're going to take a look at our language in focus.
Okay.
今天 language in focus 要看到是 rather 的用法哦 rather than 的用法 rather than 同时具备介系词与对等连接词两种特性，都表示而不是这样的意思。 那主要的用法如下。首先呢 rather than 作为介系词片语，我们放在句首。For example, rather than spending the weekend indoors, Emily decided to explore the nearby hiking trails and enjoy the fresh air. 这里的 rather than 是介系词，所以后面的动词我们要用什么呢？动名词 V-I-N-G。在第二个重点哦 rather than 作为对的连接词，使用表示而不是。那使用的时候一定要注意前后的结构，词性应应该是平行对称。For example, Sarah spends her evenings reading books rather than watching TV. We also saw the noun pitch, 指的就是声音或是音符的高低度。Okay.
People with tone deafness struggle to tell if a note is higher or lower than another. Wow, they really can't tell what the notes are and if they're different. For them, music might not sound pleasant at all.
Ooh,
that's sad.
That's sad, I know.
Yeah, so what a beautiful melody. They'd be like, that's horrible, stop it. They would struggle to hear the beauty in music because they struggle to hear the tones or the differences in them. When you struggle, you have difficulty with someone. You could be struggling with someone as they try to steal your purse or something like that. Or you could be struggling with learning something really complicated at school, like that math we talked about earlier. Here's another one you might struggle with. When Meili first moved to Bulgaria, she really struggled with the language. I've heard Bulgarian is hard to learn.
I would too. Okay. Struggle 有努力呀，或者是使劲挣扎的意思，它是一个动词。当我们用 struggle to 后面接原形动词，就是同样就是努力呀，或是使劲，或是挣扎的做某件事。For example, despite the challenges, Jenny continued to struggle to achieve her dream of becoming a dancer.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
Good for her.
Yes.
I hope she makes it eventually. Scientists have found that in people with amusia, there are weaker connections in the brain areas that understand sound. So that's why only a few people have it. They're born with certain specially designed brains that are different from most people, and that's why they can't hear things because their brains are just a little bit weaker in certain areas. Well, there we go. Oh, we have this word scientist. Let's talk about that. A scientist is a person who does science. Yeah, exactly. That's what a scientist is. I mean, a doctor could be a scientist. It could be someone researching diseases in a lab. It could be someone exploring space or, examining the moon. It could be people digging up rocks, all sorts of things. If you're doing science, if you're doing research, if facts and experiments are your life, you're probably a scientist of some kind. Here's an example. Scientists recently discovered a new kind of octopus called Grimpoteuthis, or the Dumbo octopus. It's got little ears. It's really cute.
Scientist 当然就是科学家的意思，它是一个名词。For example, the scientists conducted experiments to explore new possibilities in the field of renewable energy.
Oh, good. That's a good idea. This could be why they hear music differently. So people with amusia, with these weak connections in their brain, that is a very common or a very possible explanation why they can't hear music. It is kind of sad. All the joy you get from music. But anyways, maybe they make up for it by being brilliant artists or something like that. Our For You Chat question, what would life be like if you couldn't tell the difference between high and low notes in music?
Oh no, if I couldn't tell the difference between high and low notes in music, my life would be like a silent movie without the exciting background music, right?
True.
I might not fully enjoy concerts, and dancing would be a bit tricky because I couldn't catch the rhythm. It would be like missing out on a colorful part of life where each note adds its unique flavor to the melody of daily experiences.
And you would sing happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, happy birthday. Yeah, it would be kind of boring. All right, guys, that's all the time we have. We'll be back tomorrow. Go and listen to some tunes, some good music, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye. Vocabulary Review. Complicated. The students needed a lot of time to understand the complicated science lesson. Outer. For my outer clothes, I think I'll wear this long brown coat on this cold day. Signal. When the TV signal is strong, the picture is very clear, and it feels like you're right there with the actors. Tone. When you press these two different keys on a piano, you can hear the tone change from high to low. Struggle. Helen wasn't listening in class, so she struggled to complete her homework that night. Scientist. Cancer is a terrible illness, and every day scientists are working on new treatments and cures for it.
智慧小补帖
Consist of something. Funnel. Vibrate. Amplify. Coordinated. Amusia. Amusia.